Namaste, welcome. My name is Kristyn, and thank you so much for choosing to be here. In today's video, I'm going to be guiding you through a really restorative yoga practice to celebrate the coming of the new moon, Amavasya. This is a really beautiful time within the lunar cycle and within our lives to honor the medicine of deep rest, to let go of doing and simply relax back into a place of just being. This is a potent time to honor self-care practices and to ensure you get the deep rest that you need and the deep rest that you deserve. In today's practice, I invite you to reach for a bolster or even a rolled up blanket, a stack of pillows, maybe a block or two. You can get really creative in your at-home practice, and I will leave a link in the description below to a video by Tina who shares with you how to get creative with yoga props at home. When you're ready, we'll get started in a comfortable seated position. You might slide a block or a bolster, some support underneath your seat, just to help bring the earth up to you, ensuring that the body feels supported and comfortable. And if you feel called to put on your favorite yoga playlist, that's a wonderful idea to really take the time to set the tone of your space. When you're ready, allow your hands to rest comfortably either on your thighs or in your lap, somewhere that feels really organic, really natural. Elongating through the spine, sitting up nice and tall, and just begin to close down the windows of the eyes. Making any final micro adjustments here so that you could become even just a little bit more comfortable. You might take a moment to gently bring the shoulders forward and up, and then let them fall back and down. Allowing the windows of the eyes to become heavy. And just beginning to welcome in a sense of the healing darkness beyond closed eyes. Like the darkness of the night sky during the timing of the new moon. You might think of it like all of the animals starting to retreat back home to their dens, preparing for the deep slumber or the hibernation of the night or the winter. Redirecting all of your awareness from observing your external universe. Letting go of the grip of the external world. All of your responsibilities, all of your to-do lists. And beginning to shine the light of your awareness on your internal universe. Beginning to open up to the experience of how you are being in this moment. You might even gently scan through the physical body, from the crown of the head all the way down to the tips of the toes. Noticing how you feel. Any points of sensation or tenderness. Just noticing. Welcoming in the company of your own breath here. The natural ebb and flow of the breath. And just paying particular attention to the turning points in between the breath. Seeing if you can smooth out these turning points. The breath, cyclical in nature like that of the lunar cycle. And so you might consider the exhale like the waning moon, this phase of releasing and letting go. At the tip of the exhale, the fertile void, or this point of potential, the healing darkness, like the timing of the new moon, creating space and manifesting intentions, deciding what you long for in this life, in preparation for the coming of the next cycle, the next breath. Just following this cyclical nature of the breath. And opening up to the wisdom of what lingers here in the darkness. Knowing that everything that you need, everything that you long for already exists within you. And we'll begin to introduce a count into the breath with the intention to lengthen the count into the exhale. I'll be guiding the count, but I invite you to breathe to your own capacity, simply with the intention to lengthen into the exhale. On your next inhale, breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. And exhale. Continuing this breath at your own pace, to your own capacity. Each exhale, letting go into the experience of the breath, letting go of tension, any lingering or negative thoughts, letting go of what's no longer needed here, creating space, settling into the healing darkness. A potent time for rest and hibernation, and creating space to decide what you long for in this life. If you lose track of the count, simply just begin again. We'll just be here a few more rounds of breath. When you feel complete, letting go of the technique, but maintaining this structure within the breath. And I invite you to take your left hand to your heart and your right hand on top of your left, and a gentle bow to the wisdom of your heart here. As you call in an intention, simply just invite it in the form of a single word. Something that you desire from this practice, or perhaps a reason why you came all the way to the mat. or something larger, something that you long for in this life. Perhaps peace or love, patience, forgiveness, equanimity, health, whatever it might be. Notice what surfaces for you here, what the heart needs. And like a mantra, repeat it 3 times mentally alongside 3 breaths. Taking one more deep breath in. And a deeper breath out. Relaxing your arms down by your sides. You might softly flutter the eyes open. Start to bring in some rotations in the shoulders here. As you inhale, bring the shoulders forward and up. And exhale, let them fall back and down. There's no rush, simply just moving with the breath. Good, and when you feel called to, start to move in the opposite direction. Good, in your own time. Begin to extend the legs out nice and long. You might give the knees a gentle shake. And then we'll come over into tabletop position. Coming onto all fours. Moving through a few rounds of cat-cow first. On your next breath in from a neutral spine, spread your fingertips wide and dip the belly low. Lift your gaze, pull your heart forward. Exhale, dome the upper back. Tuck your chin, look to your toes. Good, again, inhale, lift the chest, open the heart. Exhale, dome the upper back. One more breath. Good, inhale, come back to tabletop. From here, cross the ankles, come back over to sit on your bum. This time, extend the legs out in front and we'll prepare for a seated forward fold. Supported forward fold. If you have a bolster or 2, a pillow or 2, you might take a bolster in behind the knees. Especially if you're feeling particularly tight to the hamstrings today, this is a wonderful option. Keeping the knees micro bent. And then you might even take a bolster on top of the thighs to support the chest. When you're ready, begin to hinge at the hips and bow forward, coming into your supported forward fold. If you'd like a little bit more support for the head and the neck, you can even take a block on top of your props. Settling into stillness here, but taking as much time as you need. Knowing that it is worth it to take the extra time. Restorative yoga practice truly is the art of letting go. And so even if you experience just subtle sensations here today, that's okay. We are still able to experience all of the therapeutic benefits of each posture, just in a very, very gentle, loving, and tender way. Closing down the eyes and returning back home to the breath. You might reintroduce the count. Perhaps inhaling to a count of 3 or 4. And exhaling to a count of 5 or maybe 6. Each breath, letting go. And forward folds is a beautiful posture for redirecting all of that love and that energy that you put out into the world each day. And instead turning all of that energy and love inward and redirecting it back home to yourself. Dedicating this time just for you, this practice just for you. And breath by breath, allow yourself to dissolve into this moment. And as the mind might wander, as it naturally does, because the mind is designed to think, simply just welcome your awareness back home to the breath. Anchoring yourself here into the present moment. Because the breath is always present. And as you rest here, begin to notice all of the parts of your body that touch and meet the earth. All of the places where you feel held and supported and grounded. Welcoming in a sense of grounding, a sense of coming back home to the earth, but also to the self, to help support you and your needs and desires. And just knowing that you are welcome to stay here and linger as long as you feel like you need. But knowing that when you feel ready, you can very gently just begin to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And with as little effort and as much time as you need, start to roll the spine all the way up. You can set your props off to the side. Take your hands behind you. Bend the knees, take the feet wide, and just gently let the knees float from side to side, like little windshield wipers with the shins. You might even gently puff your chest out in the opposite direction. A nice counter shape for the spine after a forward fold. Beautiful. From here, we'll come into a supported Shavasana, or a supported back bend. Taking 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks at home, you can always use a nice little stack of books. If you have blocks, you can take 1 or 2. I enjoy using 2 blocks. into the shape of a T at the top of the mat. The first block comes on its second highest setting, and the second block comes on its lowest setting. And then from here, you can take your bolster or a stack of pillows lengthwise. You're creating this beautiful wedge-like shape onto your blocks. And then from there, if you'd like additionally a little bit more support for the low back here, you can take a rolled up blanket at the base of the bolster and simply just wrap that blanket around the bolster, and it creates a little bit more support here. From there, you can snuggle your sacrum up nice and close to the base of your props here. And if you have another bolster or maybe even a couple of blocks, you might slide it in behind the knees. So we'll introduce the option for bound angle or Baddha Konasana legs. So when you're ready, slowly make your way down onto the back of the body, ensuring that the entire length of the spine feels supported. And from there, you can either extend the legs out nice and long, or bring the ankles together, take the knees open wide, and then invite the soles of the feet to touch. The legs finding that nice butterfly shape. You might lift the chest, tuck the shoulder blades under. You might reach for an additional blanket to cover the body. Maybe a pillow underneath the head or an eye pillow over top of the eyes. And from here, I invite you to take your hands to the chest, fingertips touching just where the collarbones meet. Connecting back to that wisdom of your heart and your intention. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, trace your fingertips along the collarbones out to the shoulders, opening up the chest, and then relax your arms down by your sides. Flip your palms to face the sky. Feeling this sensation of opening up the chest and the heart. And the palms facing the sky is a gesture of just being open and receiving to whatever this experience has in store for you today. Of course, if you're looking for a more grounded effect, you can always flip your palms to face the earth. A few moments to settle in here. Taking a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, allow the whole body to become heavy. Relaxing back and down. And just noticing the back of the body naturally conforming to the landscape of props and the support beneath you now. Nothing that you need to do, nowhere that you need to be. This timing of the new moon, Amavasya, invites us to let go of doing and to relax back into a state of purely just being. This practice allowing you to activate the parasympathetic division of the nervous system, rest and digest. You can think of it like rebooting your internal computer, or filling up your cup, or charging your internal battery. Breath by breath, welcoming in the experience of letting go. Knowing that in the letting go, you are creating space. Space for your intention to ripple outwards into your life, into this practice, and beyond the four corners of your mat and outwards into your relationships with others, into the way that you flow through life. Breath by breath. Allow your intention to ripple out into your life. What does it feel like to tune into the wisdom of your own heart? The same way that you take care of others in this life, what does it feel like to take care of you and your needs? Honoring this time of deep rest and rejuvenation. Knowing that you are welcome to stay as long as you need. You are encouraged to stay, to rest, to linger in the essence of relaxation you may have cultivated here in this experience today. If you'd like to close your practice with a guided meditation or yoga nidra, I'll leave a few links in the description below and at the end of this video. I'd like to thank you so much for practicing with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, a comment, and let me know what you would like to see more of. Stay tuned for restorative yoga practices to connect to each cycle of the lunar cycle, each phase, because it reminds us that we are beautiful no matter what phase we are in. If you are interested in seeing more content from me, you might subscribe to get notified when new content comes out each and every week. It's time to take care of you. And you can think of these practices like an investment to you and self-care. May you all be happy. May you all be healthy. May you all be peaceful. And may you all be free. Namaste.